Hello everybody, Jack here, and it's that time of year again, Christmas time! I'm going to be reviewing some Christmas classics, starting with A Christmas Story. The story, for the 10 of you out there who don't know, is about a boy named Ralphie who wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas, and the rest of the film compiles mainly of his failed efforts to get it, as well as some other problems that come up around the holiday season. One of the reasons why I think A Christmas Story is a classic is that it's very simplistic. The film doesn't even have that much of a true story, it's just the events that happen during Christmas time for this family. The story is told from the memory of the boy Ralphie as an adult. The film is narrated by Gene Shepard, the writer of the original book which this was based on. This is one of the best narrations I've ever seen in any film. He does a superb job of capturing the mind of a child, despite the fact that he's an adult talking about this. The character of Ralphie is in many ways two different characters. Adult Ralphie, who's narrating the story, and young Ralphie, who we see through most of the movie. Interestingly, young Ralphie doesn't really have all that much dialogue. A lot of it is just expressed through his facial expressions and narration. He's not just a perfect little kid, he actually does do some foolish things, including swearing, which eventually results in him getting his mouth washed out with soap by his mother, and even lying in order to get out of a tight situation. This doesn't make him necessarily unlikable, it makes him a kid. We all did things like that sometimes. The film also does a good job of showing what the world is like through the eyes of a child, and the dream sequences that his character has throughout the movie are flat out hilarious. The dream sequences are a great way of escaping reality and diving into a more over-the-top and goofy universe. Many of the shots in the fantasies are sped up to give it that corny vibe. The other characters in this movie are quite memorable too. You have his younger brother Randy, who can be very annoying at times, but intentionally. You also have his parents. The father at times can be very grouchy and very angry, but in other instances, like when Ralphie swears, he doesn't get angry at him, he simply tells his mother. She's the one who punishes him. As most of you know, the father wins a prize which ends up being a leg lamp, and when the mother breaks it, he gets extremely angry and acts like someone has died. The mother is overprotective and is the one that punishes Ralphie for swearing. There's also Ralphie's friends. Something that was very common for children was peer pressure. And in one of the movie's most famous scenes, Ralphie's friend dares his other friend to stick his tongue onto a frozen pole. Andy ends up getting stuck. We also have sort of villain characters in two neighborhood bullies, Scut Farkus and Grover Dill. Scut Farkus in particular is very memorable. Part of it might be due to the fact that his actor, Zach Ward, has an extremely recognizable face, and is even recognized today. And of course, in another example of the over-the-top imagination of a child, Ralphie believes that Scut Farkus has yellow eyes. We also have probably the best example of a bad Santa Claus ever. The Santa Claus in this movie is a complete jerk. Ralphie and his brother line up for a really long time to see him, and Ralphie asks for his BB gun. Santa then tells him that he'll shoot his eye out and kicks him down the slide with his boot. Throughout the film, many bad things happen. Ralphie can't find anybody that will give him the BB gun. His dad ends up losing the leg lamp that he won. Ralphie and his friends are constantly picked on by Scut Farkus and Grover Dill. Santa Claus gives him the boot, and Ralphie ends up having to wear a stupid pink bunny costume at the end of the film. And even though he does end up getting his BB gun, he almost shoots his eye out in the end if it weren't for his glasses, which he ends up breaking. Then their turkey dinner is eaten by dogs, and they end up having to eat Chinese food. But on the flip side, they end up enjoying it, and it ends up making the Christmas more memorable. This movie has a very good theme to it, that no matter how bad things get sometimes, you can still have a Merry Christmas. For that reason, I think that this film stands as one of the best Christmas movies. It doesn't have much of Santa or magic or any of that stuff, but it does have what Christmas is really all about, and that is being with your family and having fun, even when things are bad. A Christmas Story is a true Christmas classic. I'm going to give A Christmas Story 8 out of 10. So that was my review of A Christmas Story. Leave your thoughts on it in the comments section below. And join me next time as I talk about some more classic Christmas movies throughout the month of December. Until then, I'm Jack, and I'll see you next time.